Hello, this is Ashley Fortinall with Texas Values. We are on the ground at NRB, and I have Lucas Miles with me from TPUSA Faith. Tell us what you guys have been up to at TPUSA Faith since the tragedy of Charlie Kirk.
You know, look, after Charlie's assassination and really his martyrdom, I think that's the best way to describe it. Obviously, we know that there was a tremendous outpouring and this groundswell of awakening and revival that was happening across this country, and we knew as a staff at TPUSA Faith that we had to do something to steward this moment. And we can't fabricate revival, you can't make it happen, but when it happens, I do think we have a responsibility to steward it. And so we were originally going to do a single big event in 2026 called the Believers Summit, and so we were putting a lot of energy, and this was before everything happened with Charlie. And as we started looking at this, we realized that the momentum and the groundswell was greater than just one event could hold. And so out of that came what we've called the Make Heaven Crowded Tour. And you go to makeheavencrowdedtour.com to find out more. And this was a phrase that Charlie and Erica had said to each other quite a bit, and as just sort of part of their why and their motivation for how they were living their life was just to bring as many people in the kingdom as possible. And so we now have 30 dates this year across the country. We'll be anywhere from Hawaii to Alaska to
Texas.
We're Texas. Yeah, we got a big one coming up at
Tell us about the one. Oh, at Prestonwood.
Yeah, Prestonwood.
We just did an event there.
Yeah, so it's April 29th at Prestonwood. Erica's going to be there, Pastor Jack Graham, myself. We got a bunch of other big guests that are going to be there, and this is going to be it's a one-night event. It's on a Wednesday night, and I think we could hit 12,000 people for this.
Awesome. Yeah, that is so cool. So you're going to be in our home state, and hopefully we'll get to participate as well.
Yeah, we're considering one in Houston as well, so some of your audience might like that too.
Very good. So can you tell me about the state of the staff at TPUSA?
Yeah, I'm like a grandfather at Turning Point at 46 years old. Most of my staff is like half of my age. And after Charlie was killed, I knew Charlie since 2020. I actually met him here at the National Religious Broadcasters. And, I came on the team. I had about 15 months with Charlie, and it was the honor of my life to serve him during that time period. And after everything happened, I just kind of went immediately into like what I would call triage mode with the rest of the team. Making sure they're okay, making sure they're connected, making sure that they're, they understand kind of that there's stability, that we're moving forward, that just being patient with them as they're processing through all individual rates. And, there's been a lot of regrouping within the team. And I would say that, as an organization, I honestly would say that we're probably closer and more united than we've ever been. And that's not despite Charlie, or it's because of Charlie that we're at that place. And he, it's the situation forced us to draw near to each other and walk together on this road. And so I have a staff of about 40 team members, about 30 full-time and about 10 part-time. And they're some of the best people on the planet. I love spending time with them. I love being with them. Normally we would do a few big events a year where we'd pull the whole team in. Now we're doing big events almost every week. And so right now, actually, at Turning Point, every 4 days, we have an event with over 1,000 people. And so it is massive reach this year.
Say all different cities?
All different cities, yeah. That's kind of our average. But, again, some of these events are 12,000. Some of them are, 500 people. But we're seeing very, very large events. Staff's dedicated. They're on the team. They understand what time it is. They understand what season we're in. They understand what the mission is. And we're moving ahead.
Very cool. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are busy.
I'm traveling. Charlie used to travel 300 plus days a year. I think 315 or more in some years, and I'm traveling over 200 days this year. I've traveled for a long time, but not to this extent, and it's keeping us moving for sure. But people always ask what can they pray for about stamina, longevity in our role. We have a lot more staff members that are onboarding right now. New positions have been created, and just assimilation as we go.
Very good. So let's wrap this interview up with a little bit of something positive.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to the people listening today?
Yeah, look, I think this awakening, this revival is real, and we're seeing a moment here where I think the church has more opportunity than ever before to really win back culture. Senior pastors especially, you need to be prepared for People showing up to your church that maybe have never been there before. My own church has tripled since Charlie was assassinated. And so we are seeing tremendous growth as a result of just this hunger. People are waking up and saying, I need to buy a Bible, I need to go to church. And I think that this is a moment that we have to steward well. I'm very optimistic for the future. Now, we have a lot of concerns, right? We're concerned about Marxism, we're concerned about Islam, we're concerned about these different things. But I will tell you that God is greater than that. And if we stay faithful, we stay dedicated to the mission, I think we're going to see a mighty harvest right now.
Well, it's so good to see you, and we appreciate the encouraging words.
Thank you.
We'll see you around.